Hi, this is Mike Donovan with Lion Dog African Safaris. We're going to devote a little time here to our talk on mountain gorillas. Um, a visit with the habituated mountain gorillas in either Uganda or Rwanda in their natural habitat, as opposed to seeing them in the zoo, night and day. Seeing them in Africa in their natural habitat is number one primate experience in the world. It's unforgettable and it's totally safe. It's funny, we humans, we worry about what other animals will do, but, we're probably the most dangerous animal on the planet. So anyhow, when it comes to the gorillas, we're more dangerous than they are. The best place to visit mountain gorillas is in northern Rwanda in East Africa. I mean, there are other places in Africa where mountain gorillas are, but again, from my perspective, I can explain to you the reasons why. I'm not going to get into it. The gorillas in Rwanda are the best gorillas to see. It can be done in a short 2 to 3 day time frame because you have to actually, get in there. There's logistics involved. Now, before we actually get into the mountain gorillas, I just want to talk about something that a lot of people bring up regarding Rwanda, and that was some 20 years ago. There was a brutal genocide that occurred there. Today, the Americans have gone in there and really helped mend Rwanda. And now, today, it's one of the cleanest, safest countries, not only in Africa, but in the world. It's just amazing. I was there prior to the genocide. I've been there subsequent to the genocide. It's just a miracle, honest to God. So anyway, but what I'm getting at here is there's a wonderful genocide museum there. It's a little somber, but boy, I tell you, it's so fascinating to visit it. So we can incorporate that as part of your visit to Rwanda if you want. Now, getting back to the gorillas again, so they're very accepting of human beings. Let's get rid of this thing here. How do we do that? I don't know. So the gorillas are very accepting of human beings, and since the onset of the program, this has been very popular. The gorilla numbers have actually increased substantially in just a few years. The local people there now are realizing they can make more money keeping the gorillas alive than killing them. So just a real success story. Rwanda is a success story in itself, and then the gorillas is even as astounding as a success story. Try to say that 10 times in a row. So anyway, here's what happens. We fly into Kigali, which is the capital city. We usually overnight there. That's where the Genocide Museum is. Although there's all over Rwanda, there's places where they remember the genocide, but the big museum is in Kigali. Then we drive up to Musanji, formerly Ruhengeri. This is sort of the base of the gorilla watching. Here's in Uganda. This is where you see the gorillas in Uganda, and then up here in the Parc National de Volcan, this is where we see our gorillas in Rwanda. And then there's even more gorillas in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, or Zaire, as it used to be known. But that's a little dangerous there, so we stick in Rwanda. All right, so it's 90 minutes. It's not very far to go. It's a nice, decent road. You'll stay in Kigali in a nice hotel. We can do mainly mid-range and luxury. There's not a lot in Rwanda for budget or economy, I should say. So just to keep that in mind when you're thinking about going to Rwanda or Uganda or any of these countries, the logistics are quite involved and they don't really cater to the mid or to the economy level. So anyhow, we get up the next morning, we have an orientation. Now there's a number of families of gorillas, and they're allowed up to 8 visitors per family a day. So yeah, there's only like 50, 60 people, 70 people a day go up. And what they'll do is they'll assign the best or the fittest trekkers to the gorilla families requiring the more difficult, longer trek, and then the least fit or the elderly or people with a bum knee or something, they would be generally given the closest gorilla, easiest trek. So, and there's even sedan chairs. I don't have a picture here, but if somebody's got a bum leg, or we can carry up. You just have to pay a little extra for people to carry up. We've had clients do that before. Best time to visit them is from January to May, if planning to visit them, because you can visit them year round. So if you're planning to visit them January, May, it's rainier and humid, more humid there. and the gorillas tend to climb at lower levels, so it's actually a less strenuous hike. Whereas during the drier spell, mid-June, mid-September, they tend to go up a little bit higher, so you're going to be doing a little more hiking. September, December, lower elevations again, making for a less strenuous hike. Now, here's the thing about visiting the gorillas is because of the logistics and the cost of the permits is $600 per person per visit. But you're guaranteed to see gorillas, no ifs, ands, or buts. That money is well spent. Some people, quibble at the price, but when you go there and you visit the gorillas and you see what's being done, what's involved with keeping them safe, it's the best $600 that you'll spend. So again, this is going towards preserving these gorillas because they were very close to extinction. The other thing is we highly encourage you to hire a local porter. These little guys here, they just carry your day bag and they help you get through the bush, up and down the hill. Best $10 you'll ever spend. A lot of these guys are former poachers, in fact, so you give them a $10 tip. And the man, he's going to keep those gorillas alive now because he's got a job. So this is how I say, by going to Rwanda, but to actually all of Africa where there's safari animals, by going there, we're supporting their existence. Anyhow, excellent bird watching also in Rwanda. You go up you have orientation in the morning. We go up with the guides, and they approach the gorillas, and then you'll actually encounter the gorillas. Usually stand about 20 feet or so away, but within a period of time, all the little adolescents, so all these little guys down here, they're very curious, and they actually start coming around you, and before long, you'll find that you're in the middle of them, and they're running around you, and some of them even brush you. So great photo ops, and they don't mind you there for about an hour or so, and then they ask you to leave in a nice grunt. And then you leave, and it's just a perfect length of time. We're not stressing them out, so anyhow, that's the gist of the gorilla trek. Anybody who's done it, we've had a number of people who've gone over there, come back. Wasn't number one on their list of things they wanted to do, but when they got back, they thought that was the best part of going to Africa, was spending some time with the gorillas. Now, also in Rwanda, there's other primates. So you can actually visit golden monkeys while you're visiting the gorillas if you want. But on the other side of Rwanda, and Rwanda's not that big of a country, there's another park there called Nyungwe National Park. And by the way, in our documents, you just click on the link, and that wasn't supposed to happen. I've got a double screen here. So anyway, it'll play a video oftentimes, and if you want to expand on the video, just down here in the bottom right corner, expands it, and then on the top left-hand corner of your keyboard, you just see escape, a button there. Just click on that. That'll take you out of there. Turn this off, and then close that, and that brings you back to the document again. Again, anytime you see this big blue underline, that's a link, so you can just link onto that. But anyway, on the other side of Rwanda, there's a beautiful park there. You won't believe this place. Very remote, and the places that we have you stay in there are amazing. But over here, there's also some, just south of the park, there's a place called Chai-Mondongo Forest. And it's 13 different primate species, including the chimps. So now they're not the most habituated chimps in Africa, I must say. You're going to get a glimpse of them. You're not going to get as close to them, I should say, as the gorillas. If you were to want to do that kind of experience with the chimps, we could do something in Uganda, or the best place in Africa is Mahali off Lake Tanganyika in Tanzania, but quite remote. So this one you can do in conjunction with the gorillas fairly readily. Now, in Nyungwe, There's also a canopy walkway that they've built over top of the rainforest that you can actually climb up and walk across and to look down into the rainforest, and it's an amazing opportunity to do something like that from that perspective. So you can do that there as well. So if you were going to visit Nungwe on top of the gorillas, you add on probably another 3 to 4 days, and if you do to both Nungwe and the Rwandan gorillas, you're probably looking at about 5-6 days in Rwanda. Rwanda is astoundingly beautiful. Oftentimes we have people come back and say, geez, I wish I had spent more time in Rwanda. I could tell you all these stories, but I don't have all the time, of course. So anyway, Rwanda, biking is also like not your typical street biking, like mountain biking kind of stuff. Lots of primate cultural encounters. There's also Bwindi and Kibale parks in adjoining Uganda for gorillas and chimps, although as I mentioned earlier, I prefer them in Rwanda. One thing about Rwanda and Uganda is the yellow fever immunization. So you should be taking that. So that would probably be another topic that we would cover another time. So anyhow, this is an excerpt out of our great ebook called How to Best Tour Africa. It's a PDF and it's free, no obligation. If you're interested in getting the entire book, email or phone us and we'll send it to you, no charge or no obligation.